A person is recorded as missing every 2 minutes in the UK. Of those, 79% who go missing will return or be found within 24 hours. Just 2% are found within a week. The rest have never been found. My name is Stacey Williams and this is Missing Mystery. Today, I am looking at the missing mystery case of Georgina Gharsallah. I was contacted by the mother of Georgina to ask if I could cover her intriguing disappearance. While there has been some media coverage, to this day there has been no leads and this case is deemed incredibly strange. It is described as unusual as it appears she just vanished into thin air. Georgina is described as strong-minded, beautiful inside and out and trustworthy. She was also described as very caring and would be the kind of person who would talk to anyone who may have grabbed her attention. Georgina was very close to her 3 sisters with a strong family relationship and would see her sisters every week and as much as they possibly could. Although Georgina is described as a sociable person who suffered with social anxiety, she would make steps to get things done. Georgina is described further as very organised and would like to arrange and plan future events and tasks. As Georgina was a mother of 2, she had an eventful but happy time playing the role of mum, and this would keep her occupied with her plans. Georgina has Arabic-looking features, but is half British, half Libyan and speaks with an English accent. Georgina can speak some Arabic, but she is not fluent, and at the time of her disappearance she was 30 years old. Georgina is 5'4" tall, with a slim build, has brown shoulder-length hair, brown eyes and tanned colour skin. Georgina would usually have her hair in a top knot and was dressed this way on the day of her disappearance, and also had a Monroe-style piercing above her left lip. On the day of Georgina's disappearance, she was wearing a grey-coloured long-length hooded coat with white fur around the edges of the hood, a white-coloured scarf, black leggings, dark-coloured boots, and her hair was tied up in a usual top knot with a side fringe and was carrying a black shoulder bag. The morning of March 7th, 2018, Andrea had returned home from work and she saw Georgina, who was doing her hair, and stated that she had a few things to do that day, including obtaining a new SIM card from a shop in the town centre as her phone was no longer working. She also said she would be taking a visit to the job centre and citizens' advice and that she would see her later. Andrea gave Georgina an old phone of hers to use while her phone wasn't working, but it is key to remember here that Andrea's phone had no SIM card and was not able to be used. It was approximately 9:30 AM where CCTV footage was captured of Georgina in a local corner shop called Clifton Food and Wines. Here, she was intending on purchasing a new mobile phone SIM card for both of the phones that she'd had, and the shopkeeper had told Georgina that it would probably be best for her to get SIM cards from a shop in the town centre instead. This is reported to be the last confirmed sighting of her, and when Georgina left the shop, she turned right and headed towards the town centre. Approximately 8 hours later, there is further CCTV footage, which was released sometime after her disappearance by Sussex Police, which shows what appears to be Georgina walking with an unknown female at approximately 4 PM in Chapel Road in Worthing. This sighting is approximately 1 mile apart in distance from the Clifton Food and Wine shop. It turned out that Georgina didn't attend the job centre later that day and that her phone had not been used before 3 AM on March 7th. Andrea thought that Georgina was actually staying with friends for a few days and she had been messaging her, but Georgina didn't return any of messages, and at this point Andrea wasn't too alarmed as she assumed that Georgina just wanted time away for herself and time to make things right again with her ex-boyfriend. The same day, a witness confirmed they had seen Georgina outside the Tesco Express shop at approximately 7 PM as she was walking with 2 males, both described as having brown short hair and approximately 5'7" and 5'9" tall. This testimony was later dismissed by the police as there were no further witnesses to corroborate or confirm the sighting. Later that night, a witness had confirmed they had seen Georgina up Clifton Road with 2 angry-looking men. One approximately 5'7", the other approximately 5'9", both slim and had dark hair. The witness recognised Georgina as she had often went into a shop and was looking down from a flat above and guaranteed it was Georgina but didn't know the 2 men. A third witness came to light, although it was reported months later. They explained that they'd seen Georgina on Broadwater Bridge with two angry-looking guys again, and it appeared that one of them was dragging her along by her arm. When the police investigated this further, the person retracted this statement. There was another witness statement which claimed that Georgina was described as being held against her will by two males again by Broadwater Bridge. All of these sightings have since been discredited by Sussex Police. On the 13th of March 2018, 6 days after her disappearance, Georgina's new boyfriend contacted Andrea to ask if she had seen Georgina, as he had tried to get in touch with her and he had nothing. And at this moment in time, this is where Andrea became quite concerned for her welfare. Andrea had made attempts to message every single one of Georgina's Facebook friends to figure out if anyone knew anything or had in fact seen her. Over a couple of days, Andrea had responses, and the friends stated they had not seen her, heard from her, or even knew where she was. 10 days later, 17th of March 2018, Georgina was reported as missing to the police by Andrea and the rest of her family. 3 weeks following her disappearance, police confirmed that her bank account or cards had not been used or accessed, and from here, her case was treated as suspicious. Andrea's home was searched by the police, and the officers also investigated her ex-boyfriend, plus all of the contacts from her mobile phone, and they were later cleared of any involvement relating to her disappearance. The police had also spoken with all of the mobile phone shops in the town centre, and they all confirmed they had not seen Georgina, neither did they remember seeing her. They also stated that they had no CCTV footage available. The police also checked where Georgina's phone was last pinging from, even though it wasn't being used, and it was confirmed the last ping was sent from a mast at Broadwater College area at around 7:45 AM on the 7th of March, and this was the nearest mast to Andrea's home. While checking through text messages on Georgina's phone, the police had discovered that Georgina had set up a meeting to view a flat, and the acquaintance of Georgina and his friend, who was his housemate, were subsequently arrested on suspicion of murder. Andrea stated that her blood had run cold when she heard this and wasn't sure why murder had even become a possibility. There was no clear evidence against the men, and within a day or two they were released without charge. April 20th, 2018. A further witness had come forward exclaiming to have seen Georgina with two men in Tarring Road at the junction with Clifton Road in Worthing between 7 and 8 PM. This was investigated by police but has now also been discredited. Meanwhile, Georgina's mum had made missing posters and had uploaded video appeals on Facebook, as well as displaying banners on Broadwater Bridge with her daughters Arij and Sarah. On October the 29th, 2018, to mark Georgina's 31st birthday, Sussex Police confirmed a £5,000 reward for any information leading to the whereabouts of Georgina, and a candlelit vigil was held outside Worthing Railway Station. There has since been an estimated 60 sighting reports made to the police following Georgina's disappearance, and of which were investigated but resulted in no further action, some of which were actually as far away as Leeds. Before she went missing, Georgina usually worked admin-type jobs but was between jobs at the time of her disappearance. It is reported that 10 days before Georgina's disappearance, she had split up from her boyfriend and had moved back home with her mother Andrea in Normandy Road. At the time, it is alleged she said she wanted to move to Brighton. Georgina had connections with the Brighton area, and due to her stating she was considering moving there may have been plans to meet a friend and travel there. Georgina has two sons who adore her, and she loves them too more than anything in the world. She is described as a very loving mum, and is explained that it's difficult to comprehend that she would ever leave her boys as she was so devoted and loving. Andrea stated that it is not a possibility, and it is hard to try to get her sons to understand the concept of their mother missing. Andrea stated that for this reason she is convinced something happened to her against her own will. Sussex Police. Miles Ockwell, Chief Inspector of Worthing, said, Georgina Gharsallah is being treated as a high-risk missing person, and despite there being a huge amount of inquiries in an effort to locate her and track her movements, we are no further nearer to understanding the true circumstances of her disappearance. We have investigated just short of 60 potential sightings. When followed up, none of them have proved to be Georgina. In any investigation, the senior investigating officer will formulate a number of hypotheses based on the information they have at the time. Information that then comes into the inquiry will test each of these hypotheses, and at this time there is nothing to indicate that Georgina is deceased. However, it will obviously remain one of the potential hypotheses. The major crime team have dedicated resources that are dedicated and focused on finding Georgina and establishing the circumstances of her disappearance. This remains the current position and it will not change. The family have met the senior investigating officer on a number of occasions and have been provided with full updates. There has also been a large focus on the dissemination of George's profile nationally throughout a number of different entities, and officers and staff have conducted inquiries outside of Sussex and into other areas in the UK. 3 weeks after Georgina's disappearance, the police escalated her case to the major crime team. So, what could have happened? One idea is that Andrea fears that Georgina may have been abducted or trafficked into the sex trade. 2. There was also a news report from the Worthing Herald that stated that Georgina had been taken hostage for ransom. On April the 14th, 2018 at 8:36 a.m, Sussex Police received an email from an account in the name of George Peters, who claimed to have Georgina. The email stated the following: "Hello. So after 12 months, Georgina has become useless to us. So we left with a problem. We can get rid of her or you can buy her back. If you would like Georgina Gharsallah back, you need to follow the following instructions. You will transfer 16 Bitcoin to a Bitcoin wallet. You have 72 hours to complete the transaction. Once done, we will drop her off at a hospital and again you will have to be reunited. If you don't follow the instructions, you will lose her forever. Choice is yours. Please pass this mail on to the family." The email sparked a police operation to find out if the alleged hostage takers really had Georgina working with a newspaper. The alleged criminals could not provide the police with concrete evidence to support the claim they had Georgina, such as a phone call or a photograph. The account was tracked down by Sussex Police negotiators and discovered that the email was sent from South Africa. They contacted the perpetrators and provided them with a deadline, but there was no response, so was then treated as fraud. They were unable to confirm who had actually sent the email. Number 3. Andrea had received what she described as spiteful messages stating that Georgina was killed by a drugs gang and claimed they knew Georgina was dead through social media. This was investigated further, but nothing has come of it. Anyone with information is urged to contact Sussex Police by calling 101 and quoting Operation PAVO, or by calling Crimestoppers anonymously on 0800 555 111. If you would like me to cover a missing mystery story, please contact me by email at missingmysteryYT@gmail.com. All of the information discussed today has been thoroughly researched and obtained using online police, local newspaper and national news reports, as well as documentary footage via YouTube. I would also like to say a personal thank you to Andrea, Georgina's mum, for providing information and all the photographs in the video today. Thank you.